Hi, and welcome to Esprē Health. I'm so glad you're here. I want to take a brief moment and give you a high-level overview of what really makes Esprē special. Esprē was started over 20 years ago by Dr. James Mahoney, located in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's been running a successful cash practice for over 30 years and started out really wanting to know how he could understand the patient's story better. Because we all know that if you know the patient's story, you can really have a better understanding of how to take care of that patient and ultimately bring wellness into their story. And so this is what started what we call CORE today, started a functional interview process to ask questions to the patient based on over 21 validated questionnaires across functional medicine, which really helps understand the patient's story and graphs it out for the provider in a way that's very easy to understand. Really, what are the root causes of this patient? But over the years, Esprē has grown into what you see today as a full practice management platform. It runs your entire practice from scheduling, billing, charting, prescribing, messaging. Everything that you need to run your practice is in one system. And so this is what makes us extremely unique and special. And we're based in a real cash practice. So we also are built by a real physician for physicians, for providers like yourself. And so I want to show you how easy it is to use Esprē. We believe that no two practices are the same. And so you need the ability to customize your system to work for you, whether that's a telemed only type of practice or a brick and mortar, you're going to put your hands on the patient. You can do that in Esprē. You can grow it from a single provider to multiple locations. The system was built to be tailored around your needs. And so what you're seeing here is the login. And again, everything's customizable from the logo to colors. Everything is made to look like your practice. And when you log in, you're going to be brought to what we call the dashboard. And the dashboard is a very simple page in which shows you all of the patients scheduled to come in and see you for that particular day. We can see a few things. We can see that Joan and Aaron and John are scheduled for different types of appointments or what we call interactions. You can see their time. You can see their status. You can also see what room they're in if you have physical rooms and so on. But everything is right in front of you. Now, Esprē does a few things really helpful to speed up your process, your workflow. So when you put a patient like Joan on the schedule, Esprē is going to go ahead and automatically communicate with that patient about their appointment. If there's any questions that need to be asked before they come in, we're going to go ahead and ask those questions, consents, and so on that need to be signed. It also created the chart for you automatically that's connected to this appointment, filling out majority of what you've already told Esprē that you want on that chart, as well as creating the invoice that's linked to that chart for what you're going to charge. So all of it's completely connected and customizable. You can make changes as you go. So let's look to see what happens when we place Joan on the schedule for today. She's going to receive an email that looks like this. And it's going to say, welcome, good morning. Here's your appointment, when, and then it's going to ask her to confirm her appointment. When she does that, when they click that, now we get the option to ask custom questions. So you have the ability to add your own custom surveys. You can ask whatever you'd like. Obviously, this question is, have there been any changes in the way you're feeling since your last appointment? If she says yes, now we're going to ask more of what she's experiencing. And let's say she's had sleep problems, nothing else, just some issues with sleep. Save and continue. Is there anything else? No, we're good. And so now the patient has confirmed their appointment. They can add it to their calendar for reminders. They can log into the portal. They can go ahead and sign their consent if they needed to. So they can see everything here. And if we go back to this page and look at it, we can see now that Joan's appointment is confirmed. That's great. We can open this up and see a little bit more. We can see that she still has that consent that needs to be signed. We can add appointment notes, see allergies and alerts here. We can check her in. We can go ahead and check in the patient when they come in. So Joan's come into the office. We've checked her in. We could place her into a room if we'd like, or we could view the chart. And again, the chart was automatically created. I didn't have to do anything for this chart, but the chart, you can notice, is laid out a little differently than maybe what you're used to with a typical SOAP note layout, where it's very linear and word processor like. We're trying to give you as much information on this chart as possible. So we can see their chief complaint, what they're coming in for, also what their history of chief complaint, anything else. And we can see that she's already answered those questions. She's had some changes, have trouble sleeping, and there's nothing more that she'd like to talk about. Again, that was from that survey, and we can see what questions were asked when and her responses to that. Everything was automatically charted for you, so you don't have to go in and ask those same questions. It's all here. You can see this before the patient even comes in to see you. And then we can see diagnosis. We can add any ICD-10 codes. We can look at this top 3 health alerts. This is part of that core interview that I was mentioning earlier. We can see that she has a health score of 84%. She's pretty healthy, but what's going on with this patient? We can see functionally now, because she talked to core, we can see a little bit more about her story. We can see that she's struggling with some anxiety, and that's causing those sleep issues, and we can see if there's anything from a hormonal standpoint. And so we get a little bit more of her story here. We can see what she said, her lifestyle, her allergies, mind and mood, if there were any past surgeries or illnesses that she had. Anything in bold is important for you to know. And it's all here for you. We make it very simple for you to have a complete picture and a rock solid chart on top of that. We make it easy to add physical exams and treatment plan templates. It's very simple and easy to use. And then, of course, the invoice. The invoice was automatically created here. We can see it. You can easily add a credit card, and everything is built in one simple location. Prescribing is built in. We're script certified, and so you can easily go through and add any type of prescription, see where you want it to go. You can change the pharmacy to any national pharmacy that you want. Everything's built in one place. You don't have to go somewhere else. You don't have to go out. You can do it all right within Esprē. We try to give you all the tools necessary to be able to message the patient. We can see more about this particular patient and any recent labs and any findings that they have. You can go through and read their reports, and there's so much here in Esprē that we've built for providers like yourself. I would love to be able to go in more detail with you. If you have more questions about Esprē and how it could work in your practice, I encourage you to either next sign up for our weekly webinar, or even better yet, a one-on-one demo where we can walk through and answer specific questions that you have. And if you're ready, you can always try Esprē risk-free. There's no cost to signing up. You can start using it today. You can log in and see Esprē for yourself. But we know that ultimately, by building relationships with providers like yourself, we are working together to really ultimately change the face of medicine. This is more than just software. It's an extension of providers like yourself giving the best care, understanding their patient's story, and we're part of that journey with you. So if you're ready, you can click on try now and experience Esprē. You know, there's different options there for you to start where your practice is, and we would love to learn more about your practice. Like I said, you can go ahead and schedule a demo, reach out to us. We would love to hear more about it. I hope this was helpful. There's so much more that we can show you, but I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me.